This next series of videos is going to be about the Ark Work, which is kind of my, uh, not main concept, but it's kind of like, I guess, the term for the overarching practice that I seek to develop, endorse, and Ark Work. Um, the basic idea of it is it's a synthesis of religion with art, science, and politics. But the way that's achieved, uh, it's important how that's actually defined. It's very easy to just kind of say. Um, and so I'll be defining it in this next series. Um, Basically, I break down Ark Work into three subtopics, and I'll just briefly introduce all three of those topics right now. The first is the Ark, the second is the Armistice, and the third is sacred labor. And so the idea of the Ark is that it is an object of some kind that needs to be defined. But essentially, it's the highest object of desire. Sort of requires asceticism to kind of make contact with it, and then be animated by it. And it's what the art contains is a kind of vision of the kingdom of heaven, and it is carried across generations, and it has to be redefined anew with each generation. So that's the basics of the Ark. Armistice is basically, I keep saying the word basically too often, but armistice, that topic refers to critique of ideology, you could say. Really, there's two aspects. There's like a dialectical theory of history. So, like we live in a particular armistice, which is an eon, a horizon of intelligibility. I like that phrase. I use it a lot. And there has been a cascade of horizons of this kind across human history. So there's the question of sort of how those horizons sort of rise and fall and give birth to one another, and where they're headed via contradiction. So that's the kind of global theory of armistice, and then the local theory of armistice is a critique of ideology of our particular armistice. So like what ideas, not just ideas, but also habits and feelings, but especially ideas, are circulating in the social field that are kind of deceptive and contradictory, and how can we kind of analyze those and disentangle them so we can see the light of the future more clearly. So that's the basics of armistice. And then part 3 is called sacred labor, and this is a explication of, I guess, basically the process of Ark Work. So imagine that you are in touch with desire for the Ark. You're armed with a critique of ideology, so you're not falling prey to various mind viruses. Then what is the process of Ark Work? Basically sort of creating in a kind of multi-hyphenate way to be involved in building the kingdom of heaven, insofar as how the way that you uniquely are able to contribute to it. And and that draws comparison to, I guess, like a kind of religious path of enlightenment, but also to childbirth. Sacred labor is very similar to actually being pregnant with a baby, and you know, I think artists and philosophers have this experience and kind of describe it in this way a lot, but it's kind of a literal thing that's worth sort of looking at in detail. Um, so yeah, the Ark, the Armistice, Sacred Labor. The first one I'll talk about will be the Ark in the next video, and that has 7 aspects. So I might do 7 short, specific videos on the 7 aspects, or maybe I'll do them all as one. I don't know.